All right, welcome back. Today we're jumping into a situation I think every IT admin knows all too well: a failing Omnissa Horizon RDS host. We're going to break down how to troubleshoot the most common issues so you can get your environment stable and running smoothly, and fast.
So, just imagine this for a second. It's 9:05 a.m. The help desk is absolutely lighting up. Your users can't connect, the ones who can connect are saying everything is lagging, and people are getting kicked out of their sessions. It's a total pressure cooker, and you've got to find the root cause like yesterday. So, where do you even begin to look?
First up, let's really define the enemy here. We're talking about the whole spectrum of issues, right? From that classic log-on storm that hammers your servers first thing in the morning, all the way to those super frustrating random session drops that just grind productivity to a halt.
You know, at the end of the day, this whole problem just creates chaos for everybody. For your users, it's a terrible experience, slow performance, getting blocked from doing their work. And for you, the admin, it's that frantic search for a needle in a haystack. It's this imbalance that causes all the trouble.
Okay, so let's put on our detective hats and start the investigation. We're going to run through a checklist of the usual suspects, the most common culprits behind these Horizon RDS failures.
First on our list is the dreaded agent unreachable status. Just think of the Horizon agent on your RDS host as its lifeline, its communication channel back to the main brain, the connection server. If that line gets cut, well, the host is basically stranded on an island. It's powered on, but it's invisible and can't take any user sessions.
So, what usually cuts that lifeline? Honestly, it's almost always the basics. You're probably looking at a firewall rule that's just a little too aggressive, some kind of network routing problem, or maybe even just a simple port that's been misconfigured. These fundamentals, they are always the first place you should check.
Our second culprit is one that can bite you hard: licensing. Specifically, we're talking about your Microsoft RDS license. If that thing expires or gets misconfigured, your system just stops. It won't allow any more RDP sessions. It is an absolute showstopper.
In this scenario, it happens all the time. Someone sets up a new environment using that 60-day evaluation license, which is great, until they forget to install the real client access licenses, the CALs, before time runs out. What happens? Bam, a total system-wide lockout, exactly 2 months after it was set up.
Okay, suspect number 3 is a failure in your load balancing. This one usually shows its ugly face during those intense log-on storms. You know, when a ton of people try to log in all at once. The system is supposed to spread them out evenly, right? But if the rules that control this, the load index thresholds, aren't set right, you end up with some servers getting completely slammed while others are just sitting there, doing nothing.
And in the newer versions of Horizon, this is so critical. There's a particular setting that controls how many servers are kept warmed up and ready for new connections. If you set it too low, maybe to save a few resources, you just won't have the capacity when that big wave of users hits, and that means connection failures.
Suspect number 4 is that classic villain, the performance bottleneck. This is the one your users feel most directly. It's that horrible slowness, the lag when they're trying to type, the applications that take forever to open. All of that is caused by an overloaded remote desktop session host.
So, what's causing that overload? Well, it usually boils down to one of two things. Either you've got way too many users crammed onto a single server, or the server itself just isn't configured properly to handle the workload you're giving it.
And our final culprit, sudden session issues. For a user, this might be the most jarring problem of all. 1 second they're in the middle of their work, and the next, poof, they're logged out. Or they try to connect and just can't, even when everything else seems to be working fine.
And the triggers for this are often buried deep in your configurations. A misconfigured group policy could be enforcing a really aggressive session timeout, for instance. Or it could bring us full circle right back to our first suspect, a temporary glitch in agent communication that was just long enough to kill the user's connection.
Okay, we've identified our lineup of suspects. Now let's talk about what to do about them. Here's a 5-step action plan, a toolkit to help you systematically work through the problem and get control back.
You'll notice this action plan maps directly to the culprits we just talked about. Step 1, check that agent status. Step 2, validate your licensing. 3, check that load index. 4, a simple but effective one, restart the services. And 5, always be monitoring your resources.
Let's just zoom in on 2 of these for a second. Restarting services right from the Horizon console is your best friend. It's your go-to quick fix for a stuck agent or VM. It takes seconds, and it's surprisingly effective. And then there's actively monitoring resources.
This is how you get ahead of those performance bottlenecks. It lets you actually see if CPU, memory, or disk I/O is redlining and causing all that lag your users are complaining about.
Fixing today's fire is one thing, but the real win is becoming proactive. Let's talk about how to build a truly resilient environment that can handle these pressures without breaking a sweat.
So what are the big takeaways here? First, nailed the fundamentals. Firewalls and licensing are such common points of failure, so check them first. Second, shift your mindset to proactive monitoring. You want to see problems developing before your users do. And third, really understand and tune your load balancing for your peak times. Don't wait for the storm to hit to see if your umbrella works.
And that leaves us with one final big picture question to think about. Every single time you troubleshoot an issue like this, you've got a choice. You can put a quick Band-Aid on it to solve the immediate crisis, or you can use it as a learning opportunity to make your entire system stronger. So ask yourself, are you just fixing today's problems, or are you building an infrastructure that's actually ready to withstand tomorrow's?